Hi, I'm Daniel, and this is going to be a young one. At around the start of the year, I found the list of best animated short winners at the Oscars and started to watch a couple of them before deciding I should watch every single one and make a video ranking them. Did I mention there's 92? This category has existed in Yasser since the 5th Oscar ceremony, even though it was originally named Best Cartoon. It started just to award Disney multiple times in a row and then Tom and Jerry multiple years in a row, with its first era just being classic cartoons winning. However, it soon became a way to award the of independent shorts with an occasional mainstream winner. But when those happened, they were mostly deserved. If anything, Pixar should have won even more, but I may be biased in that department. I've always appreciated animated short films, mainly through Pixar, but also in general. When the runtime is short, it gives time to tell an important story, create a feeling, or do something unique with visuals, or sometimes do all three. I only saw around 15 before this year, and watching through them has been interesting to see many creative visions in different eras and genres. It was a good experience overall, even if it was a yacht to keep these in my mind throughout the process. And also some just weren't good. There are yachts that didn't work for me. Also, while it's good to see the way animation has changed throughout the years, I wasn't a fan of having to see racist characters in at least 10% of these. Early animation isn't beating the race in my animations, as well as some other outdated things along the way. I should state right now that for short, even more than feature-length films, have more range for opinions and how much one gimmick can work for or connect to each person. So, this is just my list, I recommend watching some of them yourself. I'll try to describe the concept for each and you can decide based on that if you want to watch some of these. Also, shout out to those channels on YouTube who uploaded short films from over 50 years ago. I made a playlist past most of them on if you want to find any. I put them in order with some of the better or higher recommended ones near the start. Some offer disclaimers before starting. When it comes down to it, the Oscars don't matter, and all this is just one short winner going to statue over another. While I can think some wins are deserved, it doesn't matter in the long term that I did win. I also don't want to spend that much time looking at others that should have won instead. This is because there's a good chance the offshore when a team is submitted. I prefer to look at them in a vacuum. I'd rather judge on their own merit, not compared to other nominations. I could have ranked every Oscar nomination in this category, but that's another 300, so I'm not doing that. One more thing, I normally don't like being built into parts, but I feel like I have to with how long this ranking was. So, I am doing 3 parts with the worst, middle, and best third of the list. With this all said, I hope you enjoy what's about to come, me discussing each short, and maybe we can come up with some viewer intrigue to watch. This list may start out negative, but I'll try to stay fair for most of them, mainly after I get through the 4 worst, they'll be up from there. It's also not consistent how much I have to say about each. Enough ramble onto the ranking now. 92, the Windshield Wiper. I know how I yucked at the third most recent win at the very bottom. This just stuck out as the one I hate the most. I don't normally like using the word potential as a criticism, but it feels deserved for this. This asks the question, what is yuff, and then shows a bunch of segments to try and convey that. It's to show the answer is different for everyone. That's a nice message, right? But the thing is, that's not gone across in this fake suppressing tone and doesn't do it naturally. This just comes off overly cynical with a bunch of out-of-touch statements trying to be meaningful. This also does the anti-technology thing, and can something convey that without the boomer roots of this generation looking at phones and not in front of them. With this, I just figured the Gunboy episode of Yov, having the same question of format, but being filled with many different styles, most are comedic, but there's some genuinely nice quiet scenes, compared to this being frustratingly quiet the whole way through. But wait, this is a Spider-Verse stylized animation style, even if it never experiments with it, and never fits this short and its ugly quiet part yet. The only positive from this winning the award was it being an adult folks animated short contrasted against the kids watch anime films over and over again speech the same year. Still, I really dislike what this stands for, and it's also boring to watch, which makes it at the bottom spot. Most placements won't be as young to discuss. 91, the Chub Chubs. I will never understand how this won. Sure, it's ACG. This is 7 years after Toy Story and looks so much worse. And Finding Nemo trailers would have been out when this one, so CG this bad means nothing. This involves the alien bar, with some 4 Star Wars and Alien cameos in the opening. This has an ugly looking alien janitor who warns of an oncoming invasion. He also sings a song, which by default becomes the best part, but it's still not anything special when the joke is just him singing bad. Don't know what else to say about this annoying and funny short that's below even most kids' media standards. Still, some people must have looked at this and thought it's Oscar worthy. 90, for sentimental reasons. This marathon got me to start watching classic Looney Tunes, and it's great, even if the shorts that won Oscars often aren't the best. Starting with this featuring Pepe Le Pew, the one with a joke of him chasing after a female animal he clearly doesn't want it. There has been controversy regarding him not being used in modern Looney Tunes. I'm personally glad he's gone. I do mildly see the argument of how much death and injury comedy is done fine, but this is too far. However, with death, there's ways to make it wacky and absurd in the ways of a cartoon, and also multiple ways to do it. Not only is sexual harassment humor uncomfortable to watch, it's also repetitive for little ways to spin it. This is a clear example of running out of jokes with this concept. There's a suicide joke that almost worked, but only because surrounded by far worse comedy. And then this short tries to pull another suicide joke, it's not really funny the second time. There's little to discuss about the short in particular aside from the subject matter, because that's all there is to this. It's not like other old media where you can like it despite some problematic elements. I've not seen any other Pepe Le Pew cartoons, but apparently they often repeat the same structure, which I can't imagine working. Somehow Pepe Le Pew won an Oscar but Daffy Duck never did. 89, The Milky Way. This is the first time I've ever seen these characters, and I really hope it's also the last time. From the studio behind Tom and Jerry, this focuses on three little kittens dreaming about milk. This is forcing being cute so much and somehow managed to make a dream world uncreative. From this, I know nothing about this trio individually, and there is little comedy here. Even for the 84-year-old short, it just really annoyed me with beyond this. 88, A Greek Tragedy. Sometimes minimism just gets boring. Like this time set for 3 women who had to hold up a building. There's some metaphor here probably about capitalism, and its ending was nice. However, this is too long watching them holding up a statue, and I really dislike this art style on the signs. The yapping and noises can also get quite annoying here. 87, Closed Mondays. This involves a minor art museum seeing a bunch of abstract paintings. There may be some deep meanings here, but it just sounds like a young way to say nothing. The stop motion animation has some creativity, but also has weird face animation. The machine morphing was mildly entertaining visual stimulation, but this didn't work for me overall. 86, Sunday in New York. I hate singing and talking most of the time as it uses engagement in the song. I bring this up because this short covers the song New York, which sounds good on its own, but the singer is just talking and hesitating every line. It ruined the potential enjoyment of this. It's just a music video, so not really award worthy, but if the singing was good, I would have ranked it a lot higher. The stop motion is fine, but there's a lot more to do with this medium. Trust me, your stop motion will near the top, it's just these two a week. 85, The Dotted Line, A Romance of Your Mathematics. Chuck Jones did a classic cartoon from the Looney Tunes, and he had made your great shorts through this, yet somehow both his Oscar wins made the bottom 10 in this list. This one seems to be well liked, but I'm sorry I just can't care for romance between shapes, especially when its message is changed for others filled with other poor implications. Seeing giants and shapes move is visually satisfying at least, but the story pulls it down in quality. 84, Mona Lisa Ascending a Staircase. That title is a lie that doesn't involve the Mona Lisa walking down the stairs, instead it's a merger of several famous paintings as they move into another. This is occasionally cool when I recognise a painting, but it goes on for 8 minutes of this. A decent novelty, but I only see it working with fans of old art. 83, The Little Orphan. So Tom and Jerry, I have mixed feelings on its long run. It's funny sometimes with some getting high in this list, but there's only so many ways this formula can be done. This is the worst opener for not even getting its formula right. This adds nibbles and a small mouse for Jerry to look after, and normally a fair would help out the comedy expect the dog does. However, he takes away from the bar between them and I just don't like nibbles at all. This may have an occasional free moment of slapstick, but nothing to stand out from other Tom and Jerry. 82, The Yoss Thing, featuring a cursed-looking version of Howl's Moving Castle. This takes a storybook adaptation approach and kind of gets that feel across through the narration and world. However, putting in 15 minutes doesn't capture this idea well by limiting the amount of events or knowing much about this main character. The animation also isn't good with off-putting proportions that don't work in CG. I don't know anyone compared to other nominations, but how did this win against Day and Night, which are better visually, concept-wise, and creativity? Pixar's shorts are so great that I root for the mainstream option over the underdogs. 81, Three Orphan Kitties. At first I was wondering why it was on Disney Plus, then I realised it was the racism. Of course. Even ignoring that, there's not very much here with 3 kittens exploring a house. It can sometimes be charming, mainly with the music moving with the animation being good, but its appeal wears off fast for me. It's deserving of being the worst Disney win in this category. 80, Every Child. This involves the baby being dropped off at every house in the neighbourhood, all with different gimmicks. I don't have much I read to criticize other than its audio and pace the entire ring. This isn't really a good short, but the animation can be very expressive at points, and it supports the good cause of what every child is entitled to. 79 Moonbird. I unintentionally put that right next to a short about annoying children trying to catch a bird. It is realistic that children can be like this, but having them speaking mostly nothing combined with off-point audio editing gives me a headache listening to this. I can't tell if I like the animation or not, but it betrays the dark color scheme while to show personality. Also, I like the Moonbird in question, with its serial walk cycle with moved this up a couple slots in the list. 78 Yen the Poor. It's weird how Mickey Mouse only appears in one of all 92 of these shorts, and this doesn't even feature him much. Honestly, I find that fair so long he's been nothing more than a boring mascot. This is a pewter short, and I like him and his whole angel and devil routine, but most of it is just him being mad at the kitten. Why is so much of classic cartoons animal rivalries? It's an okay pewter short, but really beyond. 77 The Country Cousin. This also is on Disney Plus, and maybe because of country stereotypes or something outdated. This has nice music over even more animal hijinks and mice exploring a house in a big city. And there's also a cat they have to fight. This is what I've come to accept from most Disney shorts. Not bad, but not worthwhile either. 76 War is Over, inspired by the musical John and Yoko. It's disappointing how the only short to win while I was doing this project had to be for the worst nomination. I haven't seen Yet to Appear, but the weeks of the 4 nominations I saw. This actually started well with great smooth character animation and bird flying shots. It has a really good and appealing style going for it. I also find the concept of a chess game between opposing sides of the war sent for a bird delivering move notes is a great adaptation of the Christmas truce. Then later, it turns into a battleground where they suddenly stop a war and this works. It's highlighted by So This Is Christmas playing and I can't take any of this seriously anymore. It just got me to think of those immortal snail memes with that song. This is hard to buy as an anti-war short, with nothing to say about war without any of the seriousness. So on that note, it's a perfect fit for an Oscar. It has the same director of the Pixar short You, so he's done great things before, but this just feels very constructed to be an Oscar candidate. It's shown even more with the fact the artist's name have to be in the title. When it won, it started my list at bottom place, but along the way I found 15 worse. This list will pick up closely. 75 The Box. An old man walks into a bar with a box and some people saying you're confused and disturbed. Before one person sees him reveal they also have a box, we don't find out what's in the box. Maybe it's the embarrassing picture of SpongeBob at the Christmas party. I honestly have no idea what or even if this is a metaphor for, but I like his design and the minimal structure of him sitting at a table for 6 minutes. It's fine. 74 The Crunch Bird. This is harder to rank as only 2 minutes as the shortest film to win, and it's a setup to a joke. It's not too funny, especially with your marriage humour. This has a charm make a comic strip. I like the design style, mainly the way this bird looks. Your bird rated short to 1, but you won't see most until near the top of this list. 73 Frank Film. Both this and another one very feel like animated, since this is a collage and compilation of many live action images. But unlike that other, I will give this a slight pass as animated enough. Anyway, this starts with a buffering TV with us showing all different things Frank has pictures of. It can be anything from food, flags to religious gods. This probably would have been more impressive in the 70s. Our voice rambles on about life story and other thoughts that could be interesting, but there's multiple layers of audio so I can't hear it. Maybe it's the point to seem like how my mind did with so many different thoughts at once, but at first this seemed tiring. However, after a certain point it started to become kind of peaceful. I think this could be a good one to try sleeping to. It does little with its novelty that I expected a bold enough response on its own, but it's okay being that. 72 is always right to be right. This is slightly different as it adapts a parable written and voiced by Orson Welles, director of Citizen Kane. This speech is well worded and well voiced, this animation is low quality as it could be told without it. The message is one that some may give props to still being relevant 50 years later, but I don't think it's too hard to say how the world and patterns will stay repeating regarding the world being divided by age, class and more. In a vacuum, I think the message of unity being achieved through saying I might be wrong is good to stop constant division. However, this can't be taken into every context regarding taking a neutral or passive position during human rights. Me saying something like I might be wrong about quoting white average is not definitely able to be a good discourse that will remain ongoing in some way. While it's not held up perfectly, I still think it's interesting speech and good in some contexts. 71 Toot Whistle Punk and Boom. I put this in the thumbnail while having little to say about it, mainly because I like how the beautiful owl looks. It's about teaching a class some yes, and I like some of the music here. But it all just felt pointing in the end with a bunch of random songs, and some racing, which is why it's not on Disney Plus. 70, The Substitute. This one was a big betrayal because at first I was finding it really fun. I liked this triangle man setting up and having fun at the beach, and its noises were charming. The whole shape style was very inviting and fun, but then the inflated woman becomes weird. It's not quite Pepe Le Pew level, but it's close and it made me regret liking this character at first. If you pretend it's just a 4-minute short and turn it off there, then it's pretty good. 69. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. This was another recent one. I wonder how it beat out the Ostrich told me the world is fake and I think you believe it. If that one, I think it will make the top 3. Anyway, this has parts of it like including the animation being a Yifton storybook. This encapsulates the atmosphere of snowy forest with a bunch of charming animals so well, and they have the writing also gets the children's book qualities really well. I like some of the face-off conversation regarding these creatures of all different life forms, like the fox talking about why it doesn't speak that much. This sounds good, but also comes across very preaching at times. It's purposely trying to become a classic rather than naturally achieving it. There's also a youngster of the list at 35 minutes. I personally consider some over 20 minutes especially not sure, but I'm not the qualification of the Academy. Younger ones making the category is probably good since none of them made the bottom 20. Still, this is a yard time wandering around aimlessly. It just feels like this should either be shorter or add more set piece and development in something younger. This tries to create a found family, but I never really got that enough more than just these talking animals helping this boy. I didn't feel the ending, but I still see why some may like the warm feeling this creates as a winter special, and some people even try to treat it as a Christmas special despite nothing Christmas related happening. 68. Mouse Trouble. This is quite a standard Tom and Jerry cartoon, where it really shouldn't have been. It's had a fun setup of Tom reading the book on how to catch a mouse that Jerry also reads. This could have been a really funny framing device, but eventually just defaults to regular Tom and Jerry hijinks that aren't particularly memorable. I think more of this should have been Jerry outsmarting Tom, and not just being yucky with Tom's incompetence. I sometimes feel Party and can take the postmodern route of rooting for Tom, but it's also hard to with a short like this having bring it upon himself. I found it just okay, but I might be wrong since the storage critic put at number 1 on the best Tom and Jerry list. Even from just this project I saw 5 I like more, but good for those who enjoy this more than I did. 67. Birth Story. This one needs deep research or reading some comments on YouTube to know what it's about. It's apparently about Chia and people being kicked out of their home there. This is good in theory, however I think it's been this Yachman told through this turning mechanic puppet show. I think this framing device and using birds instead of humans hinders memorability for me, but maybe it's better if I knew the context before. 66. Bob's Birthday. This is very 90s animated sitcom feeling, but not largely focused on offensive comedy. It has its charm redefined, and while I don't think I care for its character yet, it has its charm. This involves Bob's wife throwing a surprise party, but Bob never gives her a second to reveal the surprise. They get in awkward situational conversations while there's people hiding and listening. It's a yes funny version of BoJack Horseman episode Surprise, and it doesn't use it to the full comedic potential, but it's okay. 65. A Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass double feature. This is a music video for 2 songs, one of which is one that most people, including me, recognize as the Way Back Soon song. Seeing that it was once a regular song is strange. This is hard to judge as animation is limited, but I like how it's timed with the music and some of the colouring here. Pretty forgettable but okay short. 64. Ryan. This is a Best Animated Short winner about the director of Best Animated Short nominee. It's stuff like this that would have made it satisfying to watch all nominees, but 392 is again too much. This is an interesting interview with very good atmospheric sound, has some great hard points regarding addiction and art. However, it is interesting without a clear structure, and while metaphorical, the disembodied head style is distracting, especially in very limited CG. Has some qualities didn't stand out to me. 63. Great. This is like a video watching history class. Yet even those were often more interesting. This is about the British engineer Isambard Kingdom Brunel, and I care so yet about this topic. There's an occasionally visually created train moving visual, and it's wacky animation, but this is boring most of the way through. Especially when we're sitting at almost 30 minutes. I say mostly because it's a musical, and it switches to being really fun whenever there's a musical number sequence. There's multiple good songs, but it's mainly the Big Top Hat song really catchy and gets stuck in my head a lot. That song goes so hard that actually gave me a reason to remember this. This also was an early use of endings where a character asked to pay a different ending instead, which I swear becoming the ending equivalent of I bet you wonder how I got in this situation in recent. So, this is it for part 1. Since the opening was young, I decided to give this 30 and the other two 31. I hope you're enjoying this ranking so far, it only gets better from here. I hope to upload the next two parts soon, but for now, consider watching my other videos and pressing subscribe. The end.